Oh, Baltimore, ain't it hard just to live? Nina Simone, talking about a depressed state or a depressed period. People, hey, Primo Wanda, hi. It is about to get serious. I was over there listening to Miss Gina and inspired me to come and talk a little bit more about this because I don't know that we even realize how serious this thing can become, this homeless situation. This ability for people to evict people, throw them in the streets. Over 40 million people can be evicted. Now, that doesn't mean that 40 million people are going to hit the streets. That's going to mean they have the ability to put you out if you haven't paid your rent. So some people, they can't pay the rent, right? Because their job is not even there. All these boarded up windows we see, all those were somebody's jobs. Although each boarded up storefront, that was maybe 20 people's jobs. All these people, how y'all doing? How y'all doing today? Yeah, man, it's going to be serious. It's about to get serious. So these people who cannot go to work. See, poor people in this instance might get off a little easier. Poor people in as much as people who have housing now. People who see Trump, he can affect the people where the building gets any kind of federal assistance at all. And I believe that includes tax breaks for below market rate housing. I believe that means that as well. A lot of people who are on Section 8, that means if they don't work, they don't pay. My mom raised us on Section 8. I mean, she always worked. She worked at a factory. But when the factory laid her off, it could have been a whole lot worse because since she was in a HUD house, then the rent went down with her wages. If she wasn't making any money, she didn't pay any rent, right? So those people might be better off than people who are just working class people, just regular old Joes, honey. They can't work. They can't pay the rent. They say 1/3 of people in the United States did not pay their rent. This is not all federal. Most of these people are just paying rent to their landlords, but the landlords can now evict them. And some landlords feel like they will evict them if they're going to lose their building. That's the bottom line. They say, listen, I cannot carry this mortgage if I don't collect rent. So it comes down to that. That's why I feel like the federal government has got to step in this situation. You people do not even know what homelessness is. San Francisco is where I live. Beautiful city, gorgeous, all kind of sights to see and all that kind of stuff. But you know what people notice? The first thing they notice when they get to San Francisco on their little vacations and stuff, they say, where are all these people, these homeless people? There are people all over the streets. Why are people running around with no shoes on and so forth? Homeless is not something you get out of easily, honey. Right? And this is what's going to hit all of America if the federal government doesn't do something about these evictions. They have to extend this moratorium on evicting people, and they've got to provide a way that these people can catch up. Because when they come out of this thing, they're going to be owing 3 and 4 and 5 months, right? They ain't going to have that either. So there's got to be things put in place. Are you going to end up with the problem that San Francisco has? And I'm sure it's the same problem. I know it's the same in Los Angeles and Atlanta and Chicago and all of these, of course, New York City, all these places who have had an ongoing problem with homelessness. It's not an easy thing, people. When you see it, you're not going to believe it. Imagine being homeless. My electricity went out for 3 hours last week. I thought I was going to lose my mind. 3 hours with no lights. Now imagine you're trying to have a family. We'll just talk about families for a minute. You're trying to have a family. There's no TV. There's no computer. There's no way to plug the phone up. There's nothing. And when the sun goes down, the light goes down. So now you're on a battery operated flashlight trying to live a life. It is incredible, honey. You will be amazed at all of some of these people. I've talked to them on the street. They said they are second generation homeless. In other words, their parents are homeless. They were raised homeless, and now they've been stuck in it, stuck in a rut for all these years. This is going to be. I just can't even contemplate millions of people hitting the streets at the same time. Once you hit the streets, it's hard to get out of it, honey. It's hard to show up for a job interview and you stinking, unshaven. Every time you got to go to the bathroom, you got to go to one of these businesses, and they're telling you, first thing you see in most restaurants, you'll see restrooms for customers only. Any kind of business, restroom. So you got to find you a restroom that you can get in an emergency, right? You got your mother or your grandmother out in the bushes trying to dump. Y'all think I'm bullshitting. I wish I had. Well, when Corona came along, somehow or other, because there's a bike track right in front of my apartment, right? And a lot of people on drugs and stuff used to hang out there, and they would put tents. Because now, the last few years, the city started giving these people tents, right? And we ain't mad at the people. I'm just saying when you get homeless, it's hard to get out of homelessness. And it's hard to function as a human being. You can't even read a book because you don't have a damn light on. Imagine that, people. Imagine you just with a few hours with no computer. Hello, people. Hi, Gina. You inspired me to tackle this story. We should be talking about this stuff, man. You get a mention of it on news and things like that, but it's just a mention. These people need to be outraged that you actually put people out on the street. I can imagine it. I can imagine trying to raise a family in those situations. I've been homeless before. Honey, I've been homeless. Fortunately, I was a drug addict, so I didn't give a damn. But homelessness, nowhere to cook your food. Every single meal has got to be bought from McDonald's, Burger King, whoever got a dollar menu, right? You got nowhere to cook. You got no electricity. You got no light, no water. So you can't even wash your face. You can't even stay clean. There's only so many gas stations out there. People are going to let you wash up in their bathroom, right? No bathroom. You're doing it in the bushes. Danger. Homeless camps are packed with drug addicts, people who are down on their luck. So now you're exposing your whole family to drug addicts. You're exposing your wife in a tent, no doors, to all these dope fiends and criminals, right? People who are out of their mind, people who like to fight. They're all together because people tend to get in packs because if they're alone, they're more vulnerable, right? We finish this list. I just think that I just remembered. Can't even read because you got no damn light. And you got dope things everywhere. People crazy everywhere. People, you don't want this stuff in your cities. I'm telling you. After you get out there, it's hard to get back in, especially if they're going to hold the eviction against you. Something like this happened when, what was it, 2008, when they had that mortgage crisis. People were, then it affected more of the property owners. But they were, remember when we had all of these evictions all over the damn place? People, but they call them foreclosures when you have a house. But it actually did happen. There really were all of those empty buildings. There really was all that stopped construction because nobody could afford to buy a house. This is going to be twice as bad. Right? The numbers, tremendous numbers. Y'all see people, maybe in some of your cities, you just see a few people under the bridge and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people on dope, but not everybody who's homeless is going to be on dope. So like I said, this is not only for poor people who are going to be out there. These are for regular working people. What about these people with all this high ass rent? Okay, so here apartment is $3,000 to $4,000 a month, right? 1 bedroom apartment. So what happens now when you have a good job, but it is not essential? You just get back 3 months. What is that? You got to get them people a check for $12,000. Oh, they'll make arrangements. Like I said before, they're not gonna make no arrangement for no $20 a week, honey. They're gonna want that money. So you get to get back a little bit because you still got that car note and insurance and electric, cheering, everything, all those expenses, honey. You got to pick and choose what you're gonna pay. And a whole lot of people in America decided to cut the biggest chunk off, that rent. Hi, people. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be rude. Hi, Wanda, Sharon, Teresa. I'll just throw out a couple of names. April Aries. That's my name, too. That's my sign, honey. It's crazy, though, people. I don't see them talking about doing that much about it either. They think they can drag ass and all that kind of stuff. But when the marshals come, they come and ask you to step out into the hallway, and they lock your door, honey. That is no longer your property. So everything in there, they're going to throw it in the garbage. Throw it in the trash. Some cities will make you, they got to store it for 30 days. So how you going to get a whole new house in 30 days? They should not be allowed to do this. It wasn't the people's fault that the whole damn economy shut down. Trump, you can come up with all this money for wars and building bombs and shit. You should be able to come up with enough money to carry this country for however much time it takes. If he would have done the right thing, if he would have shut the damn country down, they said it only had to happen for 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe we could have avoided a lot of this, right? Hey, people, let me say, hey, they should not be able to do that. They should not be able to do that. Thank God my mama had Section 8, or she didn't have Section 8. She had a HUD. She bought a house with HUD, but it was HUD finance, right? So that way it'll fluctuate. So in situations exactly like this, if your income is cut in half, your rent is cut in half, or your mortgage is cut in half, right? So hopefully all you people who have lower rent, pay your rent. You don't want to get yourself in this same mix, honey, if it can be avoided. Then when you try to get another place, they're going to say, what happened to the last place? They can hold that against you for 7 years and eviction. So they need to be helping not only the people. I mean, if they just gave them the $600 a week, that's $2,400 a month. Now, I would think that everybody should be able to pay their rent if they got an extra $2,400 a month, right? If you pay more than that a month, then you're probably a wealthy person. You probably have savings and things like that, right? But if they just renew that, at least they can pay their primary bills. That's what I say. If they're not going to do that, then they need to be assisting these landlords so they would at least be able to get enough money from the government to not foreclose, not have a foreclosure, if they can't get the rent without throwing all these people on the street. You get them on your street, it's not going to be easy to get people off the street, honey. You're going to get a whole lot more of your children on drugs too, because the only way to make it on the street is to stay high, stay drunk. Believe me. And when you come out of it, you still got the addiction. A lot of these kids, I see them when they get here. Young people coming in San Francisco all the time. Young people, teenagers, young adults, whatever. That street life is a hard life. So a lot of them end up, somebody gives them something, they feel a little better. They're exposed to all this stuff. They're exposed to prostitution. Somebody wants to pay them money to do this and all this kind of stuff. It all goes with homelessness and desperation. So I hope this damn Trump, he doesn't seem to have much foresight. But I hope somebody in that White House, you know, we have Ben Carson in charge of HUD. Somebody realizes that this problem, this could go on, this could drag this thing out for years. Because when they do start getting people back into housing, how long do you think it's going to take to put 10 million people back in housing? Cities be struggling to try to get 100 of them housed. Now they got 10,000, 100,000. We as individuals, I don't know. I don't know the answer. I know you've been paying taxes your whole damn life. I do know that. So this government it's got to be federal. I don't think the states have enough money to house keep all these people in housing. But the Fed does. Anytime you want to go and build you a new supersonic jet, you can come up with a couple of billion for that. I've been homeless before. It ain't no joke. You ain't lying, honey. Thank you, Teresa Hopkins. We need to tell the truth. Hard to get it. Like I said, Section 8, it took me 10 years. 10 years being qualified the entire time. Now here I am, a senior citizen, before I finally get it. It ain't like you just go down there, oh, we'll just send you over here to this place. No, honey. 10 years. 10 years of being qualified. At any time I could have been housed. That's how long it took. This shit is not no joke. Then you got to get up, you got to come up with first and last now. You ain't got no job still. And then you're supposed to come up with $2,000 or $3,000 to get another place. If they'll even rent to you because you just got evicted. They don't want you in there because they don't want you to get in there and get stuck. People will kill you. I hope they don't kill each other, hoggers. People get desperate, though. All these stores, these supermarkets, things like that. Imagine you got to feed you got to feed people, honey. You ain't got no job. You living on the street. You think you're going to hesitate to go in the store and steal? Of course not. That's where the food comes from. That's why we had encampments around here behind Safeway. They didn't want to be in this neighborhood. They just wanted to be near the food. Very hard to come back from homelessness, starting from the beginning. All the agencies, people think it's so easy to go and get this. No, honey. There are lines around the corner. Everybody in the same position you are. It looks like the people who have a mortgage, who actually own the house or have a mortgage, they're able to defer the payments to the end of their mortgage. That's the best thing. So maybe this won't hit the homeowners as hard this time. This is all about the renters. But they say 40 million are people where the building gets federal money. Most apartments are not owned by the Fed. Some of them get a certain amount of money. I think this building here gets some kind of tax relief. But most people, they're going to be on their own. You ain't got the money, get the hell out. People going to not want to go. They're going to have standoffs and everything else, child. That's what they should be talking about on the news at this point. They need to handle this immediate situation. Yes, there's all kinds of problems associated with COVID. Yes, COVID is nobody's fault, although Trump keeps calling it China's fault. He's always looking to blame some damn body. It's always got to be, oh, it's China's fault. Look what China did. Well, it's here now, Trump. You're supposed to be the wartime president. Now you fix it. He always wants everybody kissing his ass. Oh, they're like Trump. Oh, they didn't go to my inaugural. They didn't do this for me. Oh, he wants to do is just sit there and sign a thing. Look what I did. Look what I did. No, you're going to have to work now, Trump. You have to figure out some things. And you have to stop firing every damn body. How about that? How about we have some real professionals in the White House who are skilled at these things and not Ben Carson? What Ben Carson going to do brain surgery on everybody? Oh, Lord. I feel for the landlords as well. I mean, I don't want to see people lose their property because they can't pay the rent. That's what the government should step in. That's what they should step in. He's over here trying to blackmail. What's he going to do? Extort TikTok. Idiot. How the hell are you going to go over to somebody's making money, right? One of these big, huge companies. Now, Microsoft wants to buy TikTok. Trump says that a huge chunk of it has to come to the United States government because we're allowing it. We're making it happen. We're making it pop. That's extortion. It's extortion. How you going to make a company pay you the money? So Microsoft is supposed to buy TikTok from the China, right? But the profit goes to you, the United States government. Isn't that extortion or something? Whatever the right word is, he ain't got no right to be going into private business. You know why he's upset? He wants TikTok to pay all his money to the government instead of the person buying the building. Because a lot of the young people on TikTok got tickets to his inaugural and didn't show up. So the seats will be empty and embarrass him. Oh, I'm going to get even with them. Lord have mercy. Yeah, I would think, Gina, that when they said that these people who have mortgages can add these months to the back of their mortgage, in other words, 20, 30 years down the road, they just add it to the back of the mortgage. Maybe they increase it a couple of dollars, whatever. If they can do that, why can't these landlords do the same thing? I'm not any brainiac, but I'm just saying, if these landlords are also carrying mortgages, why can't they do the same thing that they're offering to homeowners? Why can't they put these payments at the back of their mortgage, which is 30 or 40 years? We don't know. Nobody should be coming up here. We all trying to survive. This is not a come up. But of course, Trump always looking for an angle. What can the government get out of it? You can't think of one thing, Trump. Let alone you don't show up. You're the only president don't show up. But I would have to say, if these people could see down from heaven, I wouldn't want you at my damn funeral. Just like John McCain said, don't invite him. He ain't been invited to nothing. But he could still, as the president, show up with a congressman, a senator, somebody high up in government, you would think he would feel obligated to say something nice about the person. Oh no, he didn't come to my inaugural. He didn't come. A whole lot of people didn't come to your inaugural, Trump. Remember how empty it was? Remember they showed us the video and you said it was 3 times as much as Obama. Obama, you couldn't find one spare seat. Yours, it was like patchwork. This is the alternative reality. Stop those cameras. Idiot. Am I being rude again, people? I'm sorry. Well, thank you, Nurse Mama. Where's Nurse Mama said? You are one of my favorite YouTubers. Thanks for the entertainment. Also, F Trump. That's right. Thank you, Nurse. Thank you for your service, honey. Where will we be without the nurses right now? San Francisco got so bad that people who are nurses, right? These are essential people. Policemen, nurses, people, firefighters. They could not even live in the city where they serve. In other words, if we have a fire, they got to call people that drive in for an hour and a half just to get to the scene. A nurse in San Francisco can't even afford to pay rent. Now, what do you think something like this would do? To pour all these thousands of people more on the street. And these ain't going to be just drug addicts, honey, because drug addicts, you know, they kind of hanging out. These are just going to be regular people. Regular people on the street. Hey, a view is a view. What else did he say today? He said a whole bunch of shit. I can't watch him, people. I'm telling you, I try to watch Trump, and I be saying, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. But one dumb thing after another, right? Let me see. I did fix something. Let me see. He said, all these people dead. It is what it is. That's what they're hanging on. There's another thing he said stupid today. Trump says that he wants to encourage people in Florida to vote by mail. Now, this is all after him ranting and raving for the last 3 months about people shouldn't vote by mail because it's going to be full of fraud, right? Then the people in Florida told them, oh, you do have a lot of people in Republicans in Florida who want to vote who won't vote if they can't vote by mail. So all of a sudden now he wants them to vote by mail in Republican states. He said this out of his mouth. This man is so far out. He said this out of his own mouth. That Republican has a good Republican governor. So this is the same one that opened the state back up. It discouraged people from wearing masks. He said they should vote by mail, but all the ones in Democratic states shouldn't vote by mail. So if you're in a Democrat, who would be stupid enough to say this on national television? He's saying Republicans in Republican states where they have Republican governors, they should vote by mail. Oh, it's never been any fraud at all. Oh, yes, I encourage you to vote by mail, right? But at the same time he's saying that, he said all these Democratic states, oh, they're going to cheat. Oh, there's going to be thousands and thousands. Trump, we will survive if there was 1,000 cheats in the whole country. So far, they couldn't find hardly any. Thousands in these Democratic states. Why would you say something as stupid as that? You're talking to all these millions of people, child. You're telling them that you want states where Republicans are going to vote by mail. You want them to vote by mail. Where Democrats are going to vote by mail. Oh no, we got to stop it. We have to do everything we could to stop it. An idiot. He's an idiot, not because of the stupid ass idea, but because he's so dumb that he's willing to voice something as dumb as that. Thank you, Harlot. Is that Harden 54? Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. That sounds dumb as hell. It is. It's dumb as hell for you to say it out loud. But that never stops him. Remember, he wants you to drink Clorox to get rid of corona. Because Clorox, oh, it'll kill it in a minute. Yeah, and you too, fool. Here we go again. Politics. He's not even a politician. Y'all just put him in there. Oh, well, whatever. I know we didn't put him in there, but whoever the people decided this was a good choice for president, y'all put him in there. He wasn't even a politician. He's saying that, oh, because of the way New York City and New Jersey, which are both Democratic states, oh, because of the way they handle coronavirus, that's why we have the problem we have now. Even though those are the ones who have driven it way, way, way down, right? They at least got busy, Trump. You still trying to blame somebody, but you talk about the China virus. It's a worldwide pandemic, dude. You still trying to blame somebody. It's your job to fix it, Trump, like other countries are fixing it. Oh, we got the lowest in numbers. Our numbers are great. Trump, I mean, how can you watch news? All he does is watch TV. He don't even talk to the people in the White House. All he does is watch TV, mostly Fox News, right? He said he'd go into MSNBC, see what they're saying. Oh, they're saying that we are the worst. You are in the worst place. We have the highest numbers, Trump, in the world. Most countries will not let us in there. He ignores that. This man is sick. He's psychotic. Anyway, people, how y'all doing today? How y'all darlings doing today, honey? I hope everybody has secure housing. Check with your family folks. They saying, oh, now people just move in with their parents. Assuming you got parents. Do we have to assume that everybody's getting along with their parents? Do we have to assume that nobody's parents lives in retirement homes? Nobody's grandparents live in supported housing their own damn self. How they gonna move in with them? They're gonna put the people in hotels that cost more than the damn rent. So the best thing to do is keep them in the house. I strongly believe that, honey. And so far, we've been a couple of weeks now where they've been able to, they've already started filing their paperwork. You imagine everything you own, just all of a sudden just put out on the sidewalk. You ain't got no money to be paying movers and storage companies. Then you get 2 months behind on the storage company, they put your shit in the trash can. It's all a big mess. There's so much expenses, other things tied to homelessness, honey. There's violence tied to homelessness. There's domestic violence tied to homelessness. When that dude cannot support his family, and he's in a tent, he's going to get real frustrated. Who's going to suffer the wrath of that? And then you try to get a job. You can't get no job because you got 400 people looking for one job. Can't even have electricity to have a damn a computer in your house. Your comments. That dog ain't, but he ain't thinking about me. Viewers of view. He does his own thing. Where are you at, rascal? What you doing? Come right here. Say hello, viewers of view. Get that bum over here. You ain't said hello in a while. You ain't said nothing to the people. Where they at, Daddy? Where they at? Over there. Looking right there. Looking right there. Say hello. Hi, people. How you doing? What you doing? What you doing? You don't say much, Squeenie. Put me down, Daddy. Put me down, my sweet baby. He helps me so much. We have these long conversations. He doesn't say much, but at least there's somebody to talk to. There has not been a single person in this apartment since this corona thing started. 4 months. Not a single human being to talk to. All I get to talk to is you lovely souls. No church. Volunteer job shot out. I quit my volunteer job. Been there I've been there 13 years. I had to quit. I said, I'm not coming back up in there. They talking about opening up. Nobody. Not my 62-year-old ass. They're going to have a vaccine before I start doing elective things. Trump said that Trump has done more. Oh, I hate when he says that. I hate when this fool sits back into my, I have done more for blacks than all the presidents in history, except for maybe Abraham Lincoln. What a fucking idiot. He thinks we're so stupid. I mean, I don't think he has any respect for black people at all. Every time he has a black people involved in his administration, they're always foolish type people. They're always Kanye Wests. They're always these crazy people. This woman, the witch doctor lady, talking about aliens and impregnating you and all this kind of crazy shit. That's the kind of black people. That's what she thinks. He thinks he sees us as minstrels. How you gonna keep telling him, what have you done for us, Trump? The unemployment rate was going straight up when you came in office. All it did was keep going straight up. You haven't done shit for us. So I wish you would stop saying that. Nothing. He's opposed everything black. Every time an argument comes up, anything about a statue, anything about a flag, anything about kneeling, anything about anything, he's always on the opposite side. He's always on the white side in every argument. Now, how the fuck you do something for us? You ain't stood up for black people not one time. Never. It's always got to be those extreme right side people. You stood up for the racists and all them kind of people, but they're rights. Oh, I guess we all from the shithole countries. Ain't that right, Trump? Stay home if you can. You talk to your adopted kitty, Mr. Wilson. Lord, I hope you didn't get that name from where I think you got it from. Woodrow Wilson. Let me see. Talk down the Civil Rights Act. Why did they put that dude? I mean, he has got no qualifications at all to be no damn president of shit. He's not even qualified to be a CEO of a company, because all he's ever done is run his own company where he made all the rules and he broke all the rules. He couldn't go into another company and run that company. And we've yet to see where he's profiting from this presidency, because from the day he has never done anything for anybody. He has never been a civic. He's never been involved in local politics. He has never had no interest in state politics. No politics. It's all been about just ego thing, right? But Trump has been worshiping money since he was a baby. All of those fortunes he lost, he has always been obsessed with money. So we got to figure out, where is he getting his money from? Is it hydrocortisone? What's that shit called? He's still promoting it. He wants people to be sitting there taking a drug that they think is working, killing their coronavirus, and then walk out into the streets and give coronavirus to you. Because they got it, but they're walking around smiling with no mask, because Trump said that this damn shit they're taking is working. Based on what, Trump? We can't find a doctor besides that witch doctor to say that stuff does anything to help anybody. As a matter of fact, it hurts them. It hurts their heart. Okay, what else is going on? You work in human resources? No. The Squeenies. I'm not calling my subscribers the Squeenies. That means they're dogs. Hell no, I ain't gonna bite into that one. No, I don't need all that ego pump up and all that kind of stuff. I'm just glad y'all come here to see me, child. I try to come and see you guys too. Let me see, Trump also have financial interest in wait a minute. He's supposed to have no financial interest whatsoever. But they have all these ways of hiding money, though. They have a whole teams of lawyers to hide their interests, right? So we don't know what he's profiting from. Why is he still promoting this damn drug that doesn't work? Every other day, somebody got to come on, waste TV time to come on here and say stuff doesn't work. He watches TV constantly. He just ignores that. He said, well, but maybe we don't know. A lot of people are saying, I love that interview with that guy. What was Exo's interview? Okay, I almost lost the train of thought. I love that interview. Axos. Oh, Trump was telling him, all the papers say it, all the books say it. He said, wait a minute. What book? Tell us so we can read the same book you're reading, Trump. What pamphlet? We want to read it. Where is it at? Oh, they say. Oh, Jesus Christ. That dude ain't got no damn vocabulary even. And then you got all this time to golf. Why don't you bear down, Trump? Take some interest in your job, honey. You're going to go out through history. People are going to be laughing at the Trump name through history. Take time. Take it as a challenge, honey. The Blainettes. Lord have mercy. Girl, that sounds like a Trump person. The Trumpettes. No, I'm too old for all that stuff, chap. I was thinking. Lord, y'all stop giving me names. Y'all ain't got to have no name, honey. Y'all independent folk. Don't join up for nothing, honey. I ain't no cult leader or trying to be one. Nope. What else is going on? Let me see my notes over here. Yeah, you don't want your people to be out there. You women, you have daughters and stuff like. You can't have your daughter out in no damn tent. She has to have women hygiene, and she has to be away from all these freaks that live out in the street, honey. You know how many crazy people live out in the street? They seeing y'all coming back and forth from your tent. I can't believe this government is going to allow that to happen. Now, I still have enough faith to believe that the United States government, with all of his senators and all of his congressmen, are not going to let this thing happen. Trump would allow it to happen. If it did not fit his purposes, suit his purposes, he wouldn't give a damn. He would let it happen. But I don't think that the whole government is going to allow these people to have these massive, massive evictions. I don't see it. I guess when they had that financial crisis in 2016 through 18, I guess all those people became renters. I don't know. Maybe they were able to fix their credit and get, because usually by the time you lose your property, you've already been using your credit cards and all this stuff. You've already messed your credit up 100 times just till you got to the point where you lost your house. Now you've been foreclosed on. So I don't know what happened to all those people who lost their properties then. Did they all become renters? I'm sure some had bounced back, but you got to have a substantial job. A lot of these jobs are not coming back. When I go and I walk to the Castros, only maybe 5 blocks, 6 blocks. Honey, they got buildings that are not boarded up, shut down. Gyms that have left, went out of business. Mm-hmm. Taghead. That's because knows that Trump is a dumbass. Well, we got to hand it to Fauci. At least he comes to tell the truth anyway. They done try to bar him from all communication from the White House, but he still comes and tells the truth. He's a man of integrity. Trump don't even know what integrity is. He's always cheated. He's always been in court. People who worked for him for years got to go and sue him to get their paycheck. No integrity at all. Then he wants all this loyalty, but he's not loyal to anybody. And he throws so many people out the White House. Everybody who makes a wrong step or don't kiss his ass properly, he fires them. Everybody's in there. Damn near everybody in there is acting. They don't even have a real job. So they can't say anything, not one goddamn word that Trump disagreed with, because they don't have a real job. They're just acting. All these acting people, and this is the time you need the professionals. And I believe that before the coronavirus even hit, he had dismantled the agency that would be in charge of coronavirus. He's just trying to go, anything that Obama made happen, he just got rid of it. Obama put protections in to where what happened in 2016, 18, 2008, what was that? 2006, 2008. The real estate crisis could not happen again. Guess what? Trump goes in and removed all of those restrictions, all of those, whatever you call them. Trump removed everything that would prevent what happened in 2006 and 8 from happening again. He's removed those restrictions. It can happen again. It may very well happen again this time. Because people, just because you own a property, don't mean they're not out of work as well. They're the same out of work as you are. Ben Carson had no idea what he's doing. He was put there. He was the token. They haven't given him. Has he spoken one page of words since he's been in there? You know what Ben Carson? Only thing I can remember memorable about him. He said, if you charge the people more rent, they'll get a job. That's his wisdom. Maybe Ben Carson should have been used to operate on Donald Trump. Now, there is a brain surgery. There's the great experiment, honey. They can just disappear on an island somewhere, and then Ben Carson can try to fix whatever the hell is wrong with Trump's brain. Strip clubs, oh my goodness, the strip clubs is closed. Baby, them girls are getting $1,000 a week. Laugh if you want to. I saw one that had the strippers. The car drives into, is it in Texas? The car drives into this thing like a car wash, and then the strippers come all out around the car. Yes, around the car. That might be a long wait for some people. They're waiting in line till he gets to go taking care of his business, you know. Strip clubs is a job. Because you don't like it, that don't mean it's not somebody not paying somebody's bills. OnlyFans, the strippers. They said a lot of them go online or whatever. I don't know how they work it. I know they always come on here and show me these titty commercials on my Facebook. I said, girl, why? Why am I getting this information? Okay, Sussex says, don't waste your funds on non-essentials. The second wave is coming, and this time around, you might not have all these extras from the government. All right, that's wisdom. I was just thinking today, Sussex. I said, maybe I should go shopping online. I can't go and have no fun shopping, you know. But I said, no. We need to be conservative with spending money on foolish bullshit we don't need, right? It's the truth. Have a little backup. One thing you don't want to do is run out of money for food. I'm spending a tremendous amount of money on food this time. God damn. I mean, what was it? 6 days ago, I went to Safeway. I spent $170. And I don't believe I got a full meal out of it. I mean, I'm sure there's something there, a few TV dinners or something like that. But basically, $170, right? 3 days later, I go back in there, and the damn thing, I thought I was going to go spend $20. $79. I just spent $179. I'm a single person. I don't know. I know I'm going to be big as hell. They're going to have to kick me out here in one of the refrigerator boxes. Yeah, save your money, people. Conserve your money. And if the government does give us another stimulus, which they probably going to do something, but if they give you another $1,200, take that and just give it to your landlord. We got to try to pay these bills, honey. Try to stay ahead so we're not going to be the ones who are in all this need, right? So that's what I would say. If they give you, if you people are getting $2,400 a month, theoretically, you can still pay your bills. Some people say they're getting more from the unemployment when they had that enhanced 600 than they were getting from their job. Well, that's the time for you to pay your bills. There's no reason to fall behind if you're making more money than you were before, right? That's not a judgment. It's just something for all of us to feed on. If we have any money, we should use it towards rent and not getting behind, to be at the whim of all these people. Now I got to go and sign a paper here and sign a paper here, stand in line there, beg. You see what I'm saying? If you can avoid it by simply just paying your rent, you know. But some people's rent is too damn high. The rent is too damn high here. The rent is too, I mean, I know it's too high in New York, some of these big cities. So $1,200 just is not going to make that big a difference. I mean, you might be able to pay 1 month, maybe. I'm trying to drink smoothies, and it's still expensive. And them smoothies, I live next to the, what do you call it, Jamba Juice, right out here in the Safeway building. $8.60 for a damn Jamba Juice. So we only save that for a special treat. I guess we could try to make our own smoothies. I can't do too much of that because fruit got so much sugar in it. But every once in a while. Giving is back on our taxes. What does that mean, Kat? Oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that shit. Every time you go in the damn store, honey, it's always 50 or 60. You only got two bags. You wonder, what the hell did I get? So I try to stay out of there as much as possible. Plus, you're exposing yourself to corona by going all the time, you know. But then if I get snacks, the snacks that I like, I'm always out in a couple of days, right? So now I got to go back and buy the same stuff that I did. And then I see this. Oh, I need that. Oh, I need that. I need that. And they always put all of the essentials all the way in the back of the store. So you can't run in and grab a gallon of milk. You got to pass about all stimulus checks for at least a year. But when you're getting $600 a week, isn't that $2,400 a month extra? I mean, that's over two. I mean, you would get that's $2,400 plus your unemployment insurance. But that was just for working people. I'm on Social Security, so I don't get any of that stuff. I get, if they give you $1,200, we get that. But it's not like a reoccurring thing. that's why that unemployment stimulus is so important, because you get it every month. So when we're talking about 1,200 as a stimulus, working people who were laid off for no fault of their own, they're getting twice that every. Let me see. Yeah, they're getting twice that every month, plus the stimulus, right? So if they can just keep doing that, but people who were not working when this thing happens, they still got to eat. You still got to pay their bills. Okay, tack head nurse. You're a tack head nurse. Okay, you got your credentials. I would like if he stops taking taxes out of our checks. That would help. Right, that would help the working people, the essential people. Because these people, they should be getting benefits too. I mean, if they have been able to maintain their jobs and they have what they call essential work, I mean, they should benefit in some ways as well, because they're the ones putting themselves out there, exposing themselves to this damn virus. People work in supermarkets and stuff like that. That's a dangerous job now. Okay. You want $2,000 a week for a year? All right. Maybe I get some of them damn lottery tickets that pay you the rest of your life. But we do have to be responsible. When you get that money, you got to be responsible with it. I mean, I wasn't. But my situation is a little different because I'm on Social Security, and then my rent fluctuates. So if I ain't making no money, I ain't got to pay nothing. But so far, everything stays the same. Everything stays the same. But we got to feel for other people as well, Hell, I'd love to be able to go back to work again and get a decent paycheck. That'd be great for me. So retirement is not all it's cracked up to be. But it's great when you get your own money. We don't get hazard pay. Right. Those companies should take it upon themselves, though, to give you guys at least bonuses for just showing up, because they're not losing anything. If their company is still functioning, you're still working. Why can't they kick in something? $200 a week. Well, that'll buy you some food. You could take care of your food, but no bills are gonna get paid. Be quiet, baby. Look at that. Y'all hear that? They hear the skateboarders. Ain't nobody scared of you, Squeenie. Be quiet. $600 is crap. Who are getting $600? Okay, so they were getting $600 a week extra. Extra is the key thing. It's not just $600 a week. That's on top of your unemployment, right? But that might pay your mortgage in most places, especially if there's two of you. I'm just hoping that it's not going to get so bad that people are going to start going and taking jobs that they shouldn't be taking, just because they need the money, or because to avoid eviction, they got to take whatever they can take, or their family's going to be on the street. That's dangerous as well, because now you're exposing yourself to coronavirus where you don't want to. It makes no sense to do that, but you feel like you have to do it. That's a sad scenario. Now you're going into work knowing you might get coronavirus. What's that going to do for your work performance? Okay, one proud grandma. One proud grandma, 67. That's good. And you grow your own vegetables and stuff. Your housing is not in the threat. You can be independent. You know, a lot of people, I watch that HGTV. They have this thing called off the grid. You know, they only want to eat what they grow. They don't want anything coming from any outside source. So they are schooled at living off the grid, up in the mountains some damn where. Tim, 62-year-old, but better not get on that. I ain't getting on a skateboard. No, Lord. I remember one time when I first got sober, right? I don't forget, I got some money from somewhere. And I was telling my best friend who was a minister at church, I was volunteering for him. I said, oh, I'm gonna get me a scooter. I was planning on getting this scooter, right? And then you're looking back at my butt, right? And you said, don't get no scooter. Go buy you some leather pants. As it turns out, he was probably right. My body was a little big for all that scootering. Now they're all over the place because now people they rent them. They got one of those rental things right in front of this building. You know, people running late for work, they just rent the bicycle and ride it. I guess they come in handy because whoever would have thought that would be a thriving business. But the racks are always empty. So I guess they're all over the world because even when they show like London or Paris or something like that, they all got these rental bikes now, rental scooters, rental, sit-down scooters and all this stuff. These techie people, they're bringing people. They keep coming up with stuff that we can't live without. Yeah, it is expensive, honey. It is very, very expensive. You got to be prepared to work. People have lived here a long time. Now, y'all know I've been here about 25 years. My housing situation is good now, but it wasn't good for the first 15. So you got to wait in line. They say now that these prices are going down slightly because a lot of these techie people, when they start doing work from home, they're realizing, well, hell, I can work from home all the time. And so these companies like Google are saying, well, we can work at home for a whole year. So people move out. They say, well, hell, I can go for what I'm paying for my studio here. I can go get me a house. And a lot of them have done just that. They go get a house in a state. As long as they got good Wi-Fi, they can work. They can even leave the country and work somewhere. I don't know if it's ever going to be cheap in the Bay Area again. I really don't. It's the highest rent right now. But this thing might drive the rents down a little bit. They charge that much because they can get that much. But if these techies start finding other places to live, other ways to work, it won't be. It's the supply and demand. If nobody is renting these places and they building high rises all over the place. Amazing about these high rises, though. Now I've been in several of them, and you would think that a high rise will be grand living, right? You got views all over the place. And HGTV always showing you big apartments. I've been in some of these things are tiny little apartments. This guy, what's his name? Jermaine Ellis. He shows you the inside apartments. He's on a kind of a little series. But they're tiny little apartments. They're apartments like the size of my bedroom. And they are like $3,000, $2,000 to $3,000. So don't assume, honey. Oh my God, 600,000 people. Can you imagine that? I mean, we've always lived with a certain amount of it here in this Bay Area, and we don't see all the people who are living under the bridges and all that kind of stuff like that. But we always assume that it's people with mental illness or drug addiction who are out there, young people. Like the hate has always had a lot of hippie type people, even though this is 2020. They've always had young people that live the hippie life, so they've been homeless kind of thing. But they're talking about putting just regular people out on the street just because they've lost their job. That's incredible. That is incredible. They're going to have to do something. So we're going to be watching. They're saying the next week something should happen. They say that every week, And I don't know if these people, after they start eviction proceedings, can it be stopped then? Or are they going to stop it? A lot of these cities, if they can evict you, they're glad they could be able to evict you because they want to raise the rent any damn way. That's the whole dream of theirs, is to get you out. So because you're paying a lower rent, Especially if you had rent control, and then they can get the market rate for whatever. They go in there, put a refrigerator and a stove in there, and now they can get thousands of dollars for rent. So I guess there's no winners in this thing. I noticed a lot of more companies have come online with selling these sanitizers, though. These people, they're smart. They find ways to do it. Hand sanitizers, they sell gloves, and supply and demand. So remember at first, just a couple months ago, we had no sanitizer or nothing like that. Now they got 100 different companies. Yep. Pasuda. It's the truth. They had people paying $1,700 to share a bedroom. At one point, you want to run at Castro, and you wonder how these young kids, because still a lot of young gay people come here. You say, how motherfuckers come in here? They look like they're 20 years old and they live in the Castro. Well, then you go back to their apartment and the living room has been converted to a bedroom. Each bedroom has been laced out. Somebody's sleeping in the dining room. It takes a lot of people to put that kind of money together, huh? I'm talking about $1,700 would be like half of what they're paying. Oh, yes. This is the city for old hippies, Lauren. Lauren Maxwell. Tim, do you ever come across any old hippies? Do you know people that have been there since the city? Yep, a whole lot of them. So where I live is called the DeBose Triangle, right? And so right in front of me, this is the Castro. If I cross the street, it's the Castro, right? And then if I go up a block and a half, I'm in the Haight-Ashbury. That's where they had the whole hippie movement in the 60s, right? So I'm right in the middle. So yes, there's all kind of hippies. There's still young people. I guess they're being hippie. They don't wash and all that. They live homeless. That's a different kind of homelessness. They cluster together and they come here and they still have their guitars. And yes, they still have hippies. And you see the old hippies too. A lot of the old hippies though, they live up in the mountains and stuff like that. So we only see them when they have like protests and all that. They're always here. Only thing different is their hair thing got gray and their faces wrinkled. No, sometimes when people start doing drugs young, not everybody comes out of it. So a lot of people, they had their hippie days and now they're in regular business and all that kind of stuff. Some people never left it. They're still smoking weed and yeah. So the short answer, yeah, I live right 2 blocks from the Haight-Ashbury. Remember now, San Francisco is only 7 by 7 miles. So all these neighborhoods, you'll go a block and you're in another neighborhood. Let's see if crime increases. Of course it's going to increase. Tag head nurse, yeah, crime is going to increase. Honey, people, you think these dope fiends ain't going to... Dope fiends got to have dope. They don't just stop having dope because we're in a coronavirus, right? So your windows still got to be broken. Your house got to be broken into. They still got to do the same stuff they did because they have to get high. That's what an addiction is. So yes, it's going to go up. The people on the street, they're desperate. The only way they're going to have any relief is if they get high or they get drunk. Lord, you don't want all them people clustered together, homeless, getting drunk. There'll be a whole lot of fighting carrying on. Plus, you're exposing your family to drugs. I know that for absolutely. That is true. Okay, Diana. Diana Duncan says, I retire next year. I feel you. I retired last year. Don't ask me from what. I try to tell these young people to invest in their retirement. You can't afford not to. They give us extra $600 with our regular pay until December. Is it till December? They will evaluate after that. So are some states still getting the 600, Diana? Yeah, people need that. I imagine you could probably survive on 600 a week plus your unemployment. I didn't know that was going on to December though. I thought it stopped this month. Into September, no more check. You already got your last check. You lived here 5 years ago, proud grandma. Oh, yeah, it went crazy. It started going crazy 10 years ago, really. But it's always been pretty high up here. I don't know why. I mean, well, it's supply and demand. All these tech companies moved here. They're willing to pay all this high ass rent. So it drives it up for everybody. Yep. That's it, Sussex, Sussex. Yep, I have big respect for the governor. Gentrification is on a roll. Apartment that were 400 are now 1,200. If we can get a neighbor, if we can help a neighbor with something we can share, please do so. Right. You don't know what people are embarrassed. They don't want to say what state they're in. But yeah, like they say in the Depression years, what was that, the 40s, where people were all in line up for food lines and all that. We're getting there. I just pray these people are not going to be taking dangerous jobs. The way Trump seems to want them to do. Get out there and work. That's exactly his attitude. Oh, I don't understand what shareholder capitalism is. Let's see. Downtown Sussex. I avoid going. Well, they didn't change our downtown. You can't go downtown. You can't drive down there. Only buses and cabs. I don't think you can even do Uber down there. Buses and cabs down in that's why a lot of people, they don't make a big deal about having a car in San Francisco. Although there are plenty of cars. A lot of people, they drive all over the Bay Area. But if they work downtown, they're going to park their car somewhere in the suburbs and then take a subway to their job downtown because it's too hard to get around. You spend half of your day trying to get parking. Oh, that's too bad, Lauren Maxwell. I wonder why he didn't get the full thing to 600. Yeah, all I got as a retired person is one payment, $1,200. But a working person, if they're already on unemployment, I would think it would be automatic. Did you have to apply for the 600, the extra 600? I would think it'd be the same thing. If it's unemployment, it's unemployment. Lauren, wait a minute. A loft is $2,300. Oh shit, I would love to have that. A loft for $2,300. You got to pay at least that for a studio here. I would love to have a loft. That'd be grand living, honey. Particularly if I could afford it. I won't want to live anywhere that I'm stressed to afford a place though, because look at this shit that happened. If you're already just barely making it, honey, you toe up. I would love to have a loft, like a New York City loft. That'd be the ultimate. I like lofts because you live in the whole place. You know what I'm saying? Like I basically live in, this is my bedroom, but I basically live in this room. I have a dining area and a living room, but I don't really use them unless I have company, right? When you have a loft, there are no walls, then you live in your whole apartment. I think it's great for a single person. I've always admired that. I never really wanted a house because my house has all these extra rooms and all that. I really wanted people to be visiting me and staying over and shit like that. So I wouldn't have any purpose in the house. But for a single man, that would be ideal. They have them here. They cost a lot more than $2,300 though. You might find a city loft that's like from the South Market. They used to have a lot of artists over there. Find a real old one. Yeah, you might find a loft. I remember in Hollywood, a friend of mine there, he would live over the Gap, but the bathroom was in the hall, and they had loft apartments over there for $400. But for some reason, I guess it was originally for retail, and so they didn't have private bathrooms, but they converted it. It's like $400. You want a tiny houses? I collect too much stuff for a tiny house. I'll fill that up in the same damn day I moved in. I once lived in a trailer though when I was back in dope days. A big backyard. Lauren gonna get her all them riding mowers. People with kids, they need a backyard. Or if you like gardening and stuff, you know. I thought Atlanta was about half though. Atlanta's about half what it is here, honey. I loved Atlanta. When I went there for a couple of months right before this thing happened, I was very impressed with all the new buildings. People were telling me what the rich stuff were. It's about half what it is here. As a matter of fact, 1,200 will only be 22. It's even less than half. So if you have an apartment, one bedroom apartment here, you can get a house in Atlanta for that. If you can get a house for a couple $100,000, here it starts at I think a 1.3 million. You know, they say it starts at about $1 million, it goes up because they pay over asking price. But there are other expenses with owning too. So unless you got a family, I don't see the purpose enough in having a lot of empty rooms. Yeah, Atlanta was gorgeous. I hope you guys just don't open too fast. Is my thing. I was up in one of those apartments too. It was beautiful, high rise. I think his rent was right around there. Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. If you got kids and puppies and all that. Squeenie, you want a backyard? Daddy, you too poor to give me a backyard. What are you doing? You want a backyard? Wow. You go up the skateboard. Go, boy. You forget all about your daddy called the skateboarder. I'm gonna bite them ankles, daddy. I want to bite them ankles. Be quiet, boy. When I was a kid, my mama, she bought this HUD house. It had a huge backyard. It's like a close to an acre back behind in the yard. We never went back there. Never. She put the fence up, put a tree out there. I said, I ain't go out there and do what, honey? So it depends on your family, I guess. We were teenagers at the time though. So but yeah, you go into these good neighborhoods, honey, you don't see nobody out there on the street playing stickball. They're all in their backyards. So you don't even know people live there. Okay, Cat O'Brien. Well, that sounds like a good idea. New York City, every school child receive food cash card. Okay, like food stamps to purchase food only. Okay, that's a good idea. Everything's a good idea, honey, if it helps. People on YouTube, they always try to be so grand, like nobody's poor, nobody's got no kind of housing, nobody's got anything. They're all divas, right? But we know in the real world, particularly all these women, these single mothers and so forth, people get help. It's not a shameful thing. You know, you go to work and you're paying taxes for your entire life. Don't feel like you're begging because you get some kind of help, especially when you need it. A lot of people eating crow right now. They talked about people like dogs, and now they're saying, well, okay, I understand what it feels like now to need help because I can't go to work. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's great that you're able to save, Sussex. Not everybody can do that. But when you say you save, so when you retire, let's say you save and you save your whole life, and now you got, I don't know, $100,000 in the bank. Doesn't that eventually run out though? Or you just remain frugal? Right. I can understand, you invest in property or something that's bringing you income. But they say that most people in the United States, they do not have enough money saved to make it through 2 months. I believe the number is 2 months. So we're going into 5 months. They'll go through their savings and then they start going through their credit cards. But yeah, it is a great thing to be able to save money though. So don't feel like you got to spend every dime you get. Somebody will buy $100 worth of food stamps for $50. Baby, that's all. We ain't supposed to talk about it. There's a whole lot of that going on. You got to make it, baby. You got to support your family. We ain't got to all be so grand, so above everything. YouTube, they're above everything, honey. You would think they're all born with silver or gold spoons in their mouths. No hardship, never had no problem. Everything is great. Sound like Trump. Oh, everything is great, wonderful. Oh, they said, no, Trump, we got the #1 cases in the whole world. Oh, I like to be positive. You're the president. You can't just pretend to. Oh, whatever. Let me get off that fool. Yeah, this is for the history books. They'll be talking about this thing throughout history for the next couple hundred years. Like they talked about the Great Depression. Linda Pickett. Tim, what do you think about nomads living in vans? There are a whole community of them on YouTube. I'm fascinated at how they fix up their vehicles. Well, Silicon Valley has got some of the highest salaries in the Bay Area, right? They've got people all lined up in Silicon Valley because there's not enough housing to house all these people who work at Facebook, Google. So these are people who are technically rich people living in vans, right? There are a few encampments here. A lot of times, those things, they end up with being just poor people that can't afford to keep them running. So when they stop running, they just throw them away, kind of thing, But there are people living in RVs right now. Maybe they have a house somewhere, but they come to work, they live in an RV. Do whatever it fits for you, I mean, some RVs are $200,000, honey. So yes, we've always had people, in vans, in their SUVs, things like that. But I think they're having a rage of that in Silicon Valley by people who can afford to pay rent if they can find a place to rent. Gio is being naughty. Don't pay attention to Gio, honey. He's mad. He's mad, honey. I say find something else to do. He got mad at me too. I went on there. What was that good boy's name? Conscious TV. I went on Conscious TV because Gio was on there. I had been talking about him for a day or so. And he got upset with me. He was very volatile. I said, well, damn. I imagine there would be quite a few arguments, honey. I mean, I guess I understand. You see that in a lot of these Hollywood movies. There'll be these fights between the managers and the at some point, these guys, they become famous, they start making money, and they fire the managers. It's a common occurrence, honey. They want somebody who can take them to the next level. So and then sometimes people just they might have been getting on each other's nerves for years. We don't know. But I know he is very argumentative. Sweet smelling onions. Lately, I've been getting these sandwiches from Safeway. Before, I wouldn't get them because there was so much bread on them, like submarine. I couldn't bite it because it was hard bread. I got all dentures and shit on my mouth. So then I said, oh, you can ask for sliced bread. So I've been doing that quite a bit in the last month or so. where they put the onions on it. Because I have all this stuff here. You have lunch meat, you have bread, and you can make your own sandwich. But I don't. It seems like every time I buy lettuce or something, I take one leaf off of it and then it goes bad. So there you get all the trimmings, I tend to eat something for a while, then I get tired of it. Like I used to eat Marie Callender's every day. Now I got like 10 Marie Callender's in my freezer, and I haven't touched them in months. That's the way I go. I was getting these cookies. What do you call them? They're sugar-free cookies. And I was eating them. I said, "Oh, I'm eating too many of these cookies. I'm eating it." And then now I look at my cabinet. I got like 4 boxes of these sugar-free cookies. I haven't touched them. I was eating them every day. So now my thing is fruit in my cereal and sandwiches. But I got to watch out for sugar and I got to watch out for salt. So a lot more snacking, and less big meals. That was terrible with that boy. Anyway, well, he changed the color of that dude's contacts. You don't do no shit like that. How you gonna alter my appearance, honey, and then put it up like I'm wearing blue contacts? Nigga, if I'm wearing green contacts, I'm wearing green contacts. Not a secret. You ain't got to change them. But that's what that Armand Wiggins did to him. I think, because he denied it, and Armand Wiggins didn't deny that he changed the dude's color of his eyes. People get caught up on some of the silliest shit. What the fuck do I give a damn if you want to wear color contacts? You don't look white. You wearing color contacts. That's it. They're perishable. Oh, they're non-perishable. I guess, honey. I go hot and cold. I love popsicles, though. I love those sugar-free popsicles. Everything has got to be sugar-free. Now, I know that some of these things they don't say sugar-free. They say no sugar added. Like if you get fruit, canned fruit, like I use the little containers I use for my breakfast, no sugar added. You go get ice cream, no sugar added. They don't tell you that the fruit itself is packed with sugar. My doctor told me it doesn't make a difference. Sugar is sugar. Turns to sugar in your body. Same thing with salt. So I try to just stay away from at least get it where it's no sugar added, but there's still sugar in that stuff. So you can't just go crazy with it. And the thing about this sodas, because I like to drink water, but when I started with that diet root beer, because diet root beer didn't have any aftertaste, in my opinion, I must be going through they come in 12 pack every 2 days, so 6 a day, because soda does not quench your thirst. So even though it's sugar free, I'm still loading all these chemicals into my body because all soda does is make you thirsty. So I like to drink soda real fast like that. Soon you drink it, you want another one. So we got to get our ass back on this just plain water. Plain water worked just fine for years. I have no reason why it wouldn't work now. The pot pies are good. Marie Callender's, yes. I used to eat those a lot too. I don't eat them right now. You go hot and cold on stuff, huh? Salads. Yeah, I get those behind the throne. I get more salads than meat. Never had added salt or sugar. Right. So I get those prepared salads over there at Safeway because, first of all, I'm not going to want to eat salad every day. So I get one of those. It has meat in there. It has turkey and ham and all this stuff, like a Caesar salad. I'll get one. It's like $6, whatever. But if I go buy all the ingredients, it may cost just a little tiny bit more than $6, but I don't want to eat salad every day. So I like when they prepare it. And my dog loves turkey and ham. Oh, especially the turkey. Baby, do you hear me say turkey? If I say bone, he'll run to the refrigerator. Bone? 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 He moved over here. He think I'll go get him a bone out of it. I do got some ribs in there. Maybe we'll get him a bone. All right, babies. I'm just running my mouth now. But yeah, we got to take an interest in some of this stuff going on. I don't know what we can do personally. I mean, we know we have to vote. But I don't know how we're going to encourage these people to take this rent thing. It's more serious than even your income. You have to have a place to live, honey. You can't have your clothes just in a bag under a tent. Okay, people, thanks for coming in. Love you guys. Try to stay safe. Stay in if you can. Later.